keep the Chicago theme. This time we're going to talk about the Cubs. They are on the road, and the Cubs are in Atlanta as they will take on the Braves, and the Braves are a $1.65 favorite. The total in this game is 8, slightly shaded towards the under at -120. On the hill today will be Marcus Stroman for the Cubs, and then we've got Max Fried going for Atlanta. Big outing for Fried last time, guys, when he faced the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine. 7 innings pitched, no runs allowed, only 2 hits, 8 strikeouts, and did not walk a batter. Fried was outstanding, and he kind of reverted back to his old self a little bit. We know that he was a little uneven last year, especially in the postseason, but he did have that big game against the Astros in the World Series. That's what he kind of reminded me of in this one. He's had 1 career start against the Cubs, but that was 3 years ago. And we know this is a new Cubs team, a lot of young hitters. For the most part, these Cubs hitters have never seen Fried before, and I really like Atlanta in the spot here. Stroman has been awful so far. 7 earned runs in 4 innings last time out against Tampa Bay. 5 earned runs against Colorado, where it only lasted 4 innings in that game. You know, Atlanta had a much needed day off. As we know, they've been struggling a little bit, been a little uneven. We've seen some signs of the offense, coming back to life a little bit, but they're at home. They kicked back yesterday, much needed day off. And Atlanta has scored enough runs to win in their last 2 losses. They scored 7 runs and 4 runs. I think this is a great spot for Fried. I think it's a great spot to go against Stroman. Atlanta at home. I really like the Braves in this spot. So I'm all over the Bravos in this one. Base winner?
Yeah, I'm with you on your handicap. I'm kind of perplexed a little bit by the line movement. I think the Braves started off at like -180, and it's kind of gone to -185 down to -157. And that's probably why I didn't play it, because it was a overnight. It was kind of a no play based on the model. But I have it priced. I've got Fried and the Braves at -185, and I'm high on Fried. Now I'm interested, TC. You mentioned Kyle Wright, and you have an affinity for Kyle Wright, and you said he's the best man in the rotation. Do you still feel like that after looking at Fried, kind of taking a deep look at Fried, or I mean? Who would win in that comparison?
Here's why I said that the other day. When I bet on Wright, I was going by his numbers and the way he looked early on his first couple starts. Full body of work. Obviously, Fried is the more experienced pitcher, probably has the better overall stuff over periods of the last few years. So again, we haven't seen the best of Fried, but again, I'm banking on just. This guy's got great stuff. He can be electric, as we know. He has the experience factor. And again, going against the Cubs, I think this is a great spot. The Cubs are a bunch of free swingers. They're a bunch of young hitters. And again, I just think Atlanta, their bullpen's going to be ready today as well too. The day off, so you factor all that in. But I'm thinking, if you're asking me who's the better pitcher on the staff right now, I'll say 1 and 1A with Fried and Wright. I like both of these guys.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. It's interesting about Kyle Wright because it's just such a departure from last year, and there is some difference with his pitch shape. He throws the curveball a little bit harder than he did last year, and it's dropping more. But I think that I'm kind of speaking off the top of my head, but I think his stuff plus was still 58, which isn't elite.
I think I talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting if you look at his base winner number for this year. 17 innings pitched, he's at 1.81. It's second in baseball. Comparatively, Fried's been good too. He's 14th in baseball, 3.18. But what invariably is going to keep me off this game, even though the lines dropped, is Fried's stuff plus at 37%. Could indicate, I don't know, maybe a chink in his armor. I have him ranked pretty high, 31 out of 150. Well, I'm going to pass on it. If I had to play it, I'm totally with you, TC. I think that we have an edge, particularly in the bullpen as well. So. I can see this number being like -185 as opposed to -157. So yeah, good luck with that play, and it'll be interesting for me at least to kind of see what happens. I'm kind of excited about Kyle Wright's next start, just to kind of see what he throws out there.
See, I've kind of turned you a little bit, huh? You were kind of
there a couple weeks ago. He's just a weird case with the numbers because they were so poor. Prior to this season, and he's had 3 starts and they're good. So it'll be you get a guy like that every now and then. It kind of comes out of nowhere. So maybe you were ahead of the curve, TC, on him.
I just seen some adjustments. He definitely looks like a better pitcher this year than last year. We'll see if that holds up. Eric, there's a lot to digest for you, my man.
Not at all. Now we're speaking my language. The NL East is my. I've been watching it, forever. And Stroman, I've watched every one of his starts for the last couple of years, being in New York. And I think I agree with everything you said, though. Gun to my head, I'm playing the Braves. I'm taking a shot with the over. I think this game gets away from the Cubs. I think Atlanta's seen Stroman plenty of times from last year. I don't see them. I think they can hang an ugly number. And I think, maybe they let Fried out, get a couple cheap runs, the Cubs, for like 7th, 8th inning type of thing to push this over. But I wouldn't play it. But gun to my head, yeah, I'm going to take the over. But I'm not a Stroman believer, man. I did last year. I think that was a bit of an anomaly year. He looked great. That changeup looked great. I just don't. I think he's a little full of himself. When he gets too cocky is when he gets in trouble. And I feel like this is the year he's going to get a little lit up, I think.
All right, let's see how it works out. I'm on the Braves, so you can lock me in for the Braves and getting a little value here with this price as well too at -165. So I know BaseWinner mentioned around 157, 165. So lock it in there, and then Eric likes the over here at over 8. Okay.